The key to lasting peace and inner balance is to begin each moment with a clean and undisturbed state of mind, free from expectations, attachments, and preconceived notions. Expect nothing from anyone, from life itself, or from the outcomes of your actions. Instead, let every experience unfold as a new and pleasant discovery, untainted by past conditioning. This is undoubtedly difficult to practice, but it is possible. Many people hear a few shlokas from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita from here and there on social media or in sermons and assume they have understood its essence. However, the true purpose of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita is often overlooked. It is not a religious book filled with prayers, quotes, or motivational phrases. It is a systematic guide to mental stability, inner strength, and ultimate freedom from duality. Duality, seeing things as good or bad, success or failure, pleasure or pain, God and I, or the rest of the world and I, is the root of negative emotions like fear, anger, jealousy, and grief. These, in turn, lead to suffering, harm relationships, and even disrupt nature itself. At the core of this turmoil lie attachment and expectations, which sow the seeds of all inner conflict and restlessness. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in shlokas 18 and 19 of the 12th chapter, beautifully summarizes the state of a truly peaceful person. Krishna says, "He who sees friend and foe alike, who remains the same in honor and dishonor, in pleasure and pain, in heat and cold, and is free from attachment, he who treats praise and admonishment equally, remains content with whatever comes his way, does not cling to a place or situation, and maintains a steady, devoted mind, such a person is dear to me." In shloka 19 of the 14th chapter, Krishna states, "The one who recognizes the gunas alone as the agent in all actions and treats the self to be above the gunas achieves my divine nature." That's right, Krishna's divine nature. One does not need to believe in anything or perform any kind of ritual. Instead, one must realize that the true self, pure subjective awareness, free from attributes such as name, form, or gender, is above all the qualities of nature. This realization leads to the state of nirvana. This state of equanimity ties directly to the deeper understanding of Jnana, which is often misunderstood. The misinterpretation of this term prevents people from realizing the meaning of the Mahavakya Prajnanam Brahma, which means awareness, insight, or knowledge is Brahman. Most people associate awareness or prajnana with wisdom because a knowledgeable person is often considered wise. However, there is a distinction. Wisdom is the ability to use knowledge effectively, whereas awareness, or knowledge in its purest form, is simply the capacity to perceive or know. For example, an insect is aware of an approaching threat and reacts accordingly. However, we do not consider insects wise, do we? This understanding is crucial because knowledge itself is Brahman. Everything else, every form of knowledge we acquire, is known as adhyarupa, meaning something superimposed onto the fundamental nature of knowledge. The common misconception that moksha can be acquired from an external source or God is absolute nonsense. It is not something to be obtained in the future or granted by an external force. Moksha is always present, but shrouded by ignorance. It is not a reward, but a state of mind, a thoughtless, peaceful, and conscious state that must be realized while being alive and not after death. The ultimate state of Brahman or Brahma Nirvana has been clearly explained in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Shlokas 70, 71 and 72 of the second chapter. He who remains steady despite the never-ending flow of desires, just as the ocean remains steady despite rivers flowing into it, attains peace. But one who is driven by desires for pleasure cannot achieve peace. A person who has renounced attachment to all sense objects, lives without a sense of ownership, and is free from false pride attains true peace. The final shloka of the second chapter. This is the Brahmi state of Partha, which removes confusion from the mind. This state of mind at the time of death leads to nirvana in the Supreme Brahman. Let go of attachments. Free your mind of all beliefs, prejudices, and opinions which change over time anyway. Release expectations. Understand that moksha or nirvana is not something you receive from someone or attain through action. It is your true nature, your very essence of existence, unfortunately buried under layers of meaningless and irrational beliefs, largely due to people taking analogies literally. There is nothing to believe, only to realize. The self in you is that, the all-pervading Supreme Paramatma, which, due to one's mental limitations, has been reduced to a jivatma or individual soul. You do not have to go looking for it. You are that. I shall end this presentation with a translation of Shloka 7 of the Mandukya Upanishad. The fourth aspect is called Turiya, which is a term derived from the root chatur. Turiya literally means the fourth. It is that which is not conscious of the external world nor of the internal world. It is neither outer nor inner consciousness, and is also neither semi-consciousness nor the consciousness in the sleeping state. The state of Turiya cannot be experienced through the five senses, nor can it be known through comparison, reasoning, or by inferring it from something. It is invisible, indefinable, ineffable, intangible, incomprehensible, and inconceivable. This state of pure consciousness is tranquil, peaceful, blissful, and incomparable. It is the Atman, or the real self, the divinity, or that which needs to be realized. Thank you. Stay blessed. Jai Shri Krishna.